Read.
And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes.
What is this talking about? And thou shalt bind these commandments upon thy hand, and what?
And they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes.
This is known as the mark of God. Wait a minute now. Put my glasses on. This is known as the mark of God. Y'all all heard about what's called the mark of the beast, correct?
Yes, sir.
The mark of the beast, what they say in your forehead or in your hand, is saying the same thing here. So you either have the mark of God in your head or you have the mark of Satan in your head. That's how it goes. That's who's doing it. Either God is going to socially steer you or Satan is going to socially steer you. It's trying to steer us beyond the horizon for us to get to where we need to go or take us to destruction. That's what we have to be mindful of. Okay, read that again. Read a little faster too, Liam.
Yes, sir. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand.
Thou shalt bind these commandments upon the hand, meaning what you do. That's why I'm saying hand there. What you do. Go ahead.
And they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes.
And what's between your eyes? Your brain, your mind. So your mind got to be reflective of the commandments of the Most High in your thinking, and your hands is the action of you doing what your mind told you to do. If you ain't dealing with the Most High, you're going to think of sin and you're going to commit sin with your hand. Understand the connection. That's how it works. We're going to read that. Where you at?
That was verse 8.
Read on.
And thou shalt write them upon the post of thy house and upon thy gates. And it shall be, when the Lord thy God shall have...
That was it. Read verse 9 again.
And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house and on thy gates.
So this is what the Most High told us to do when we came out of Egypt. The Most High wanted to make sure that we understood his commandments as opposed to the evils and the way of the Egyptians, because he had taken us out of Egypt at this point. Y'all all right? So he had to break away from that. That's what he's doing to us now. Okay, that's why the Bible says, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins. How are we partakers of Esau's sins, of this society's sins? By following the wicked. By following the philosophy in our minds and doing wickedness. That's the mark of the beast and don't even know it. You think it's about somebody writing some 666 on your head and all that. Ain't got nothing to do with that at all. That 666 represent destruction. Because the number is in the Bible. That's Esau's number. That's his number. Read.
And cause...
Yeah, that's how he speaks. Talk about the passion of the Christ. And all of the actors look just like this thing here. Because that was an image of Cesare Borgia. That's not an accident. They can't get just a regular white man. They got to look a particular way to mimic Cesare Borgia. Look him up. Read.
That the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Meaning, if you don't worship the white man Jesus, they say you're going to hell. That's what they tell you in your dope houses called Christian churches. Read. What verse you in?
That was verse 15.
Read. Come on.
And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
That's what I was talking about earlier. In their right hand and in their forehead. Meaning to do sin and think sin. That's all it's talking about. Ain't talking about some microchip. That bull crap out of your head. Ain't no microchip gonna make you sin. People stupid as hell. The white man puts a thought in your mind to make you think that sin is pleasurable. And you end up thinking it and you end up doing it. That's the mark being in your head and in your hand. Okay? So now, go to Ezekiel now.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, our honor, and our glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Next, double honors to the head apostles / elder bishops of the great millstone who teach and who rule well. Peace, blessings, and safety. To all you sincere Akim, keep pushing, keep believing, and keep the faith, regardless of whether people hear or whether they forbear. All right, and this is, you've seen the video clip, okay? And the title of this lesson is going to be, are you going to take the chip? Okay? All right, and the reason why is because there's a lot of misinformation and confusion surrounding the mark of the beast, but this is one of the most important prophecies. All right, you cannot get this wrong. If you get this wrong, then you pretty much doomed. All right, that's it. Okay, so taking the mark is one of the only sins that you cannot repent for. All right, so this is deadly serious that the correct understanding is brought out on this subject. So we're gonna keep going over it over and over. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the scriptures. We're gonna start here in Revelation, the 13th chapter. All right, at verse 16. Okay, it says, "And he causeth all," and the he is speaking of the elite banking families, the Rothschilds, the Gettys, the Bloombergs, the Eisenhowers. Okay, the Finkelsteins, people like that. "He causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name." Okay, this is that prophecy. Okay, that is a lot of confusion is being brought around about. All right, now the guy in the video, he was saying that the mark is sin. All right, and we always say this. Okay, how are you going to buy and sell with sin? All right, it doesn't make any sense. Okay, how are you going to buy and sell with sin? You're going to go to the grocery store and say, "Hey, I shot this guy. I committed adultery. Can I get some bread?" It's ridiculous. Okay, but let's go into the words, because the words are what's going to show exactly what it is. All right, going to the blue letter, and the word for that is Strong's G5480, and it is charagma. All right, that's the pronunciation of it. And it says, "A stamp, an imprinted mark." Okay, it says, "Of the mark stamped on the forehead of the right hand is the badge of the followers of the anti-Hamashiach, a thing carved, a sculpture, graven work, or idolatrous images." All right, but what it really is the first definition, a stamp or an imprinted mark. All right, and if we go to the root word of it, the root word is for charagma is karax. Okay, Strong's G5482. Now the root word is karax, and let's see. Okay, the etymology from karaso, to sharpen to a point, akin to Strong's G1125, through the ideal of scratching. Okay, like a tattoo. It says a pale, a stake, or a palisade. All right, so this is something that is going to be poked. Okay, it's going to be an etching on you. And what is that? It's going to be the RFID microchip that's going to be about the size of a grain of rice. Okay, and that's what's going to allow you to be able to buy and sell. It's by taking that. All right, and so you can see it's a physical. Okay, it's a physical mark. All right, like both the definitions say for charagma and karax. Okay, it's something that is an imprinted mark, or something that is stamped onto you or poked into you. All right, and once again we went to the root word karax. Okay, it's something that is going to be etched into your skin. All right, this is how you're going to buy and sell. So it's not a spiritual mark as they are implying it to be. Okay, so all right, and this is just a quick. I went over this multiple times. Just a quick understanding of it. All right, it is none other than the RFID microchip. All right, and with that being said, all right, I want to also go into what he said about he tried to say the mark of the Most High was keeping the commandments. Okay, and he used Deuteronomy 6. Now this is Deuteronomy 6 chapter. I'm gonna start at verse 1. "Now these are the commandments, the statutes and the judgments which the Lord your God commanded to teach you, that you might do them in the land whither you go to possess it." All right. Now I'm going to scroll down to the part that he tried to use to say that this was the mark of the Most High. Okay, so this is Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 4. "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. And thou shalt love Yahweh thy God with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words that I command thee this day shall be in thine heart. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and thou shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes. and thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house and on thy gates. Okay, so this is speaking of something physical. Okay, I just want to establish that. All right, when it says, put them as frontlets. All right, the word totafaf. All right, and let's see. It says bands or phylacteries. And the phylacteries, those are. Let me see. Those are those. Those little black. See, they got like the fake, the JOOs. They put those little black boxes on their heads, small hats. Okay, and they have scriptures inside of them. That's where they get this. That's where they get this from. Okay. Oh, Salakia. Crap. Okay, but anyways, this is a physical thing. All right, something to bind around your head. Okay, something to that effect. All right, bands between the eyes. So that's why the JOOs put it on their foreheads. All right, but this is a physical thing. Okay, the mark of the Most High. All right, the Tav or the Tawah is a spiritual mark from the angels. Okay, so it's not the same thing. This is Ezekiel, the 9th chapter. I'm going to get verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. And to the others he said in mine hearing, Go ye after him to the city, and smite, and let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. Okay, let's go into that word, because he didn't say it was a physical thing. He did say it was, that the mark is keeping the commandments, which is false though. And he tried to use Deuteronomy the 6th chapter to break that down and justify that. But in Deuteronomy 6th chapter, it's speaking of something physical. Okay. The true mark. The main place it's spoken of in the Old Testament is in Ezekiel the 9th chapter, and it's speaking of something that the angels are going to put. All right, the angels are going to put on the men of the Lord. Okay, it's a desire, a mark, a sign of exemption from judgment. All right, and this is a spiritual mark. This is not a physical mark like in Deuteronomy the 6th chapter. They were talking about putting up signs around the house and teaching the commandments to your children and all that. Okay, it didn't say anything about a mark. All right, the main place is spoken of here in the Old Testament is right here in Ezekiel 9 and 4. All right, and as you can see, okay, verse 3. All right, it's speaking of an angel that's going around, and he's the one that's marking the servants of the Lord. Okay, we could read that in Revelation the 7th chapter as well. All right, Revelation 7 and 1. And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw an angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. Okay, so this one is that same mark, the mark of exemption as we read, okay, in Ezekiel the 9th chapter. All right, and this is a spiritual mark. The mark of the Most High is a spiritual mark. Okay, the mark of the MOTB spoken of in Revelation the 13th chapter is a physical mark. All right, like when you go into the root words like we did, you can see that charagma and karax. Okay, it's a physical mark. All right, and the thing about it is that, see, pretty much IUIC and pretty much every other Israelite group says it's sin or some other bugged out madness, and all that's really happening is that the Lord is showing obvious signs of who His true servants are. All right, that's all. Because anybody, you have to be damn near completely blind, all right, to accept that. All right, it doesn't make any sense. And once again, it begs the question: how are you going to buy and sell with sin? It doesn't make any sense. It's completely stupid. All right, so just gotta bring that correction, because at the end of the day, if you get this wrong, all right, if you get this wrong, you're gonna be destroyed. Okay, which is the reason why, the question is for all those cats at the IUIC. All right, are you going to take the RFID micro C-hip? Are you going to take it? Because pretty much what's happening here is, they're telling you it's anything and everything but what it is. And we know the reason why, okay? We know the reason why, because they're paid off. All right, their leadership is bought and paid for. All right, that's the thing about it. See, a lot of the Israelites, they're given to covetousness. All right, and if you're given to covetousness as well, then most likely you're going to end up taking that chip. All right, you're going to end up taking it because you're not going to want to lose, what you have in this society. All right, this is Jeremiah the 6th chapter. I'm going to get verse 11. It says, to whom shall I, verse 11. Therefore I am full of the fury of the Lord, and I am weary with holding it. I am weary with holding in. I will pour it upon the children abroad, and upon the assembly of young men together. For even the husband with the wife shall be taken, the aged with him that is full of days. So because of the lies, all right, because of all the lies, the Lord is going to, he's going to destroy and bring a great slaughter upon the Israelites, like he said he would in Ezekiel the 9th chapter. And their houses shall be turned unto others, with their fields, wives, together. For I will stretch out my hand upon the inhabitants of the land, saith the Lord. For from the least of them, even unto the greatest of them, every one is given to covetousness. And the prophet, even unto the priest, every one dealeth falsely. All right, and telling people, all right, leading them astray purposely, for that bag. Okay, that's a slap in the face. Somebody's got to play that role, but then, of course, we got to play that role of those that are defenders of the gospel. All right, to warn you, because, like I said, man, if you don't believe that the RFID, C-hip is, okay, the mark of the beast spoken of Revelation the 13th chapter, then what's going to happen? Okay, if you're teaching them that it's not the chip, your congregation is most likely going to take that chip, just like a lot of them took the the 19, okay, the 1-9. All right. So let's get this, Micah 3 and 5. Okay, thus saith Yahweh concerning the prophets that make my people err, that bite with their teeth and cry, peace, and he that putteth not into their mouths, they even prepare war against him. Okay, and that's especially these Christians, man. They're the main ones doing that. But anyone who's saying that the mark of the beast is not exactly what it is, which is the RFID micro C-hip. All right, this is speaking against you as well. Okay, you're causing the people to err. You're going to cause them to take it because they think that that's not what it is. All right, therefore night shall be unto you, that ye shall not have a vision, and it shall be dark unto you, that ye shall not divine. And the sun shall go down over the prophets, and the day shall be dark over them. Then shall the seers be ashamed, and the diviners confounded. Yea, they shall all cover their lips, for there is no answer of the Most High. Okay, it says, but truly I am full of power by the Spirit of the Lord, and of judgment, and of might, to declare unto Jacob his transgression, and to Israel his sin. Okay, so we have, the Lord has put the Spirit on us, all right, to do what? To declare unto Jacob his transgression, and to Israel his sin. And teaching false doctrines, all right, is running rampant. Okay, as Apostle Ramlab has been saying, the spirit of apostasy is heavy right now. All right, a lot of people preaching false doctrines for filthy lucre's sake, and once again, if you look up how much the bishop is worth, all right, it makes sense. All right, they're getting a whole lot of, even in the video they had the PayPal, sticker or whatever, on the corner, because that's what it's all about, covetousness. All right, this is Micah 3 and 9. Hear this, I pray you, ye heads of the house of Jacob, and princes of the house of Israel, that abhor judgment and pervert all equity. They build up Zion with blood, and Jerusalem with iniquity. The heads thereof judge for reward, and the priests thereof teach for hire, and the prophets thereof divine for money. Yet will they lean upon the Lord and say, is not the Most High among us? None evil can come upon us. Okay, verse 12. Therefore shall Zion, okay, the children of Israel, for your sake be plowed as a field, and Jerusalem shall become heaps, and the mountain of the house as the high places of the forest. All right, so you have a lot of blood on your hands, okay, for your sake, because of your lies, because of your false doctrines, because you're going to tell a lot of people, you're telling people that the MOTB is not the RFID microchip, when it clearly is. Okay, when that time comes and people end up taking it, that blood is on your hands. All right, just know that. Okay, So once again, the question for IUIC and anybody else teaching that the RFID microchip is not the mark of the beast, okay? The question is, are you going to take the chip? And if you are going to take it, all right, or if you're not going to take it, why not? Okay, that's the question I have for you. Are you going to take the chip? And if you're not going to take it, then why not? If it's not if it's not the mark of the beast, then why not take it? All right, because you're gonna need it to get food in that day. The government's already been, the WHO, WEF, they've already been saying that that's what it's gonna come down to, and people have been having dreams about it. Even people who are not in the truth been saying that that's what we're coming down to, a cashless society where you're gonna need that biometric technology to be able to be a part of the society. So once again, are you going to take the chip? All right, I'm gonna close out with that, and Lord's will is edifying. Until the next one, Shalom.